I had the chance to play Anno 117 Pax Romana again, and what I saw blew me away. On my first playthrough, I built a city on Latium, a beautiful sun-kissed island in the Mediterranean coast. But this time, I got to play on a very different island, Albion. It's further north, a bit cloudier, and a whole lot marshier. And the gameplay and the people that you interact with are completely unique to this region. Now, this time, I was only given an hour to play, compared to the 4 hours I had last time. But with that experience behind me, I pushed forward as quickly as I could to make the most of my time during this playthrough. So in this video, I'll be showing you my live gameplay, unscripted, so that you can feel what the game actually plays like and hear my reactions in real time. And at the end, I'll let you know when you'll be able to get your hands on the demo for yourself. So without further ado, let's jump right in. All right, the last time I played Anno, I was playing in an Italy-inspired province. This time, we're going to, I believe, the UK.
Welcome, Governor. By decree of the Emperor, you've been sent to Albion, the Empire's northernmost frontier, a land of mist, myth, and mud. Far from the marble streets of the Roman Empire, you'll find a world unlike any you've known. The locals wear trousers instead of togas, drink beer instead of wine, and prefer their aldermen to you, a Roman governor. And yet, this mysterious place holds great promise. You will always be a Roman, so you can either govern like one or be a sympathetic leader, but a leader you must be. You can drain the marshes, lay down stone roads, and bring a touch of Roman comfort to these distant shores. Or you can embrace the local ways with bardic halls and mysterious deities. The land may be unfamiliar, of some the people unyielding, but the legacy you built here could echo through the Empire. So welcome to Albion. Your story begins here.
Albion looks totally different and sounds like we can do kind of whatever we want with the layout in terms of trying to make it Roman or more like Albion. So the basics that we have to do, just like any Anno game, we need to stabilize our lumber supply and build some homes. And it looks like back here I get 100% effectiveness. Then we'll also need a sawmill. So we'll place that right here. And then we're also going to need some homes. So for these, I just want to survey the land a bit. This is very hilly. It's going to be, I'm very curious to know how it's going to handle all of these hills. I don't know that there's a place that's immediately jumping out to me. Oh, marshy land. Actually, this is jumping out to me. Relatively flat with a coast right here. This will be an interesting place. Then I'm going to go ahead and build a few homes right away. And now we'll switch gears and think about food a bit. And they have cockles and eels. That doesn't sound delicious to me, but I'm just not a big seafood person. I guess it's good that we chose this location because this is where we're going to be able to harvest these. So we'll put a cockle picker right here and then an eel grabber. I wonder if this actually goes, it goes in the marsh. That is so cool. And now to get these to work, we have to have a warehouse because we're too far away from our harbor. So I'm going to build that right here. And then we've got tons of money. So I think I'm just going to grab and build a bunch of homes right off the bat. Okay, feel much better about that. The residents look way different than over in Latium. A water passes you. Straining under a heavy basket of eels, he looks warily at your Roman clothes, uncertain at the sight of the toga, just as you are at the sight of his pants. Despite his burdens, he stops and hails you as his governor. All right, respond? Like a gentleman, we'll buy his supplies. Perfect. Paid some money, made some friends. Some buildings can only be built on marshes. Marshes are limited in space. Few buildings like the warehouse can be built on solid ground or in marshes. Wooden roads can only connect marsh buildings at specific points. Oh, I didn't need to place this like this. We're going to experiment. So if I would have done something like this, I could have taken this building Oh, that's super cool. So this is now connected directly to the marsh. And I'm wondering, it doesn't look like the cockle picker can do it, but the eel grabber can. And then I want to see the warehouse out there. Not because this is the best spot for it, but because I think it's going to look, oh, look at that. There are different points that you can attach this to, so you can wrap all the way around it. That's probably a better location than way out there, so we'll keep that there. And then we have some public services like the market, Bard's Hearth. The Bard's Hearth is a fireside community where it's like a gathering place of some sort. We'll build the 2 of those. Let's see. I wonder what can all be built out here. Not the marketplace. So we'll build that in the center over here once we have materials. This hearth also cannot be built out here. That's okay. And they're approximately the same size. You know, I know that I don't have a lot of time with this demo, so I am going to build additional woodcutters, try to speed things along. And I'll try to make things a bit more efficient by consolidating all of this right here. That should be really helpful. And now I can build both of these. So all we have to have now are fashion needs met, and we should be able to start leveling up. And we can go for reed shoes or tunics. And I don't believe that we need both of these to actually level up, but I'm going to build them both because I want to see what they look like. Because the reed gatherer is clearly out here in the marsh. And then we've also got a shoe weaver. This can be out here as well. And once I have a bit of wood, I should be able to build these, no problem. Except that I do have a problem, and that is that I don't have a warehouse within range. So I'm going to take this warehouse and try to consolidate this. I wanted it out there for the looks, but functionality matters too. Okay, so now I can construct this building, but this is going to be similar to a farm in that I have to have a soggy mire. Wow, this thing is going to be huge, up to 140 of these. So I should have probably spaced this more appropriately, but you live and you learn. Okay, so our reed gatherer is all set. For our shoe weaver, obviously nothing more to do here. They should be good to go. And in short order, we should be able to level up to our level 2 citizens. Now, I'm going to build some more residential units. We can go fast by just dragging, which is a feature that I just adore in this. And then I can hover over the top and just draw roads. I remember. Now I'm curious here. I didn't have enough space to put a wider road if I wanted to maintain my grid, and I want to know if I can put a narrow road in here. I am not certain of this. And I'm going to straight up say that this is a skill problem. I think it's possible, and I'm going to try. I think if I delete half of the road, I don't know how to do that. So I'm not going to worry about it because we can now upgrade some of our residential. And it looks like these folks down here can be upgraded. We have 2 paths. We can either make them a Romana Celtic or just a Celtic or Celtic. The Celts venerate local gods and nature. My smiths and aldermen live in smaller communities and gather and produce from wetlands. If we make them more Roman, they will live in larger cities. Oh, we can do both. I'm gonna go this route for this one. Oh, no, it looks like we're building Rome right here. And look at this. I can choose which one. So we're gonna do both. So we'll make this our Roman district. And this looks just like the other district. Now over here, it won't let me do it. Oh, interesting. I chose my path. Seems like you only get to choose one path. So if you choose wrong, we're now making a Roman city. Okay, this also means that we need tiles. So we'll focus on that. We also need bread and sausages. But for tiles, this time we need a mud dryer, which is different than what we were doing back in Latium. So this goes out in the marsh as well. And then we're gonna need a charcoal burner. They need to be close to our wood supply chain. And I just want to make sure my radius isn't Okay, that's covering up the folks here. So we'll back that out a little bit. And then for our tiler, this one creates fire issues, but it doesn't seem, oh, it does make people unhappy. Okay, so now they want me to build the governor's villa, and they want me to avoid the barbarians by building this a ways away from the coast. I think I'm going to place that back here. Okay, that's a nice location. I got a view of the marsh. That seems good to me. And now I kind of just want to clean things up. I'm not super thrilled with the way that I've organized things here. And now I can finally build my villa. And there we go. Now they're telling me to explore. And I am very, very keen to explore. So we're going to do that while we're building things. So I think I'm going to send them clear over here. And we'll see what happens. And while that's going on, we'll make sure that we have fire protection and police protection. And then I had to move my warehouse because it was a bit too far away. But that's going to work out well because for all of our protective services, having them around here is going to be just much more efficient. And that's interesting. This is one of the guys that we meet back in Latium as well. So I'm not sure where his city is. Right here. And it's funny. It also looks like he's building a Roman city as well. But also taking advantage of all the marshland. Interesting. All right. Back over here. They are upset that I moved the warehouse. I'm just going to have to build another one. Oh, she is new. She is new. So my guess is she is one of the barbarians. But look at this city. That is super cool. So built in all these plateaus. They flattened it out entirely up here. I'm wondering if we can build something like this too. That is super cool. And they want me to open up my diplomatic relations. I could try to be friends, but all I can really do is give gifts. So, and I don't think I have time to really mess with diplomacy much. So instead, let's keep building. Now, if I want to keep leveling these folks up, we're going to have to give them bread or sausages for food. I think I'm going to go after bread, so we'll have a wheat farm. And for this, let's try placing it here at the edge. Then we're also going to need to mill it. So this is a donkey mill. Interesting. So back in Latium, the mill was actually a water mill. So this is going to have donkeys walking around, milling it. That's cool. Super cool. And then we also have our bakery, which provides a health benefit. So it's good to keep this near our people. And then I think, even though we only have to build one of these supply chains, I'm going to build both. So we have our pig farm right here. And this one decreases health. So we want to keep this away from our people. Then we'll have to add some of the pigsties. And then we need an herb garden for the seasoning for the sausage. And it looks like these actually make people healthier. So if we can, we should keep this close to our citizens. And this isn't nearly as large. It's only 60, max 60 tiles. And then we already have a charcoal burner. Though I think we're putting a lot of pressure on the one that we have at this point. I'm still going to leave it. It's going to be fine. Now to get to the next level, we have to have 100 of our level 2 citizens. So I'm going to upgrade as many as I can. And apparently the Roman emperor is excited that I've decided to turn this into a Roman city. And then I'm just noticing that we are running low on our basic residences at this point. Now we're just a couple of residents away from being able to unlock the Grammaticus, which is going to be really valuable for us. We can start to research things. So I'm going to keep upgrading as soon as I have more timber, but we are just bleeding money at this point. But that should be enough. That should be enough to do it for us. Okay, so now we have the Grammaticus and the Phantom. So we can go and pursue religion and education. So right away, we're going to build our Grammaticus. And I think ideally this would be really centrally located. I'm going to actually move a bit of this, and then we'll place our Grammaticus right there. And okay, our supply chain here was breaking down because this was out of range of the warehouse. That's why I moved it over here. Hopefully that will get us making bread. And then for the Grammaticus, we are just missing a little bit in the way of materials. Oh, finally. And our budget situation is starting to improve too, which is good. I'm going to slow things down because we've got to take a look at our research tree. I'm wondering if this is the same as the last one. Unfortunately, in the last playthrough, I didn't look. And there are so many good things here. I think I'm going to go for hospitality so we can start to get some specialists. Hopefully that will help with our economy. And then just out of curiosity, taking a look at our economy, it looks like for tunic production, something's not working quite right. I think we might be missing something, and that could be sapping our production there. And then we can see how productive we are with everything. It looks like our Eels situation is not good, and we could use more charcoal along with more wood. So I'm going to go ahead right away while I'm thinking about it. We're going to build another charcoal burner. My ship is under attack. I totally forgot about my ship. There it is, being attacked. Let's run away. We'll go over here. Okay, and then back at our little Roman village in the UK. Let's take a look at our eel production. Something's not working right. Not enough cultivation area. Too close. So I'm just going to... Oh, this needs a cultivation area as well. So now it's 100% effective out here. Same thing with this. Much better. And that's ugly, but you know, it's fine. And then we're also not producing the tunics. We actually don't need these, but I'm just curious. We'll build a hemp farm anyway. And actually I should not, because we are currently in a bad space with our residential. I am in debt and I could lose the game. What should I do? Aim for a positive balance. So it looks like I just need more homes. Oh no, there's now disease. I've been wondering why I can't catch up on the population. I am balancing the budget. We're getting closer there, but everyone is dying. Everyone is sick. I feel like I'm not doing quite as well as I did last time, and that is because of the plague now. Oh, it's everywhere. It is everywhere. Everyone is sick. Okay, I can solve this. I just need to build the Medici, but I've left very little space for it, unfortunately. So the only way that I can really do this is to relocate some of these houses. And that should keep us out of trouble from here on out. Now, to get to our next levels, it looks like we need to have even more of our mercators. So I'm going to start upgrading even more of these. The Roman governor was yelling at me anyway for this becoming significantly less Roman. And these folks are actually too far away from the market to be able to upgrade. So I'm going to have to build a second market. I'll do that right about there. And then I should be able to start upgrading these folks. There we go. And we have to get to 200. We're at 190. That should get us there. That should for sure get us there. We also have a whole bunch of stuff here that's in ruins. And though I could instant repair it, it seems like a bad idea. And do I accept foreign aid? You better believe I'm going to. It impacts my reputation, but my reputation's been going up anyway because I've been Romanizing the city. So I guess you take the good with the bad. And at least that lets me upgrade some of this stuff. Although this makes everyone here sick. So hopefully that solves our issues. Oh, and I am screwing this up. That is why I'm struggling with this. So we have to have a larger cultivation area. So if I move this over here, the cultivation area is big enough, and now I can get rid of this one. And this is just better for me financially, and it'll be more productive. And I think to fix our budget, I'm going to get rid of that as well. So kind of taking things down to the bare bones. And we've got this sawmill. I'm going to bump this back here so I can develop this into a neighborhood. Okay, and that has finally brought the budget into the positive. So I just had to better understand the buildings. And now that I've got it, we're good. And I could build a shipyard. That's how I made all my money last time. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go after this. I can do brooches and soaps. So for brooches, we have to have a silver mine. Do we have silver here? Looks like we have silver all over the place. I want to build a mine to see how it looks. Ooh. Oh, that's super cool. So we'll build the silver mine right there. And then we'll have to get a road to this. And because of its location, it's actually going to be perfect. Let's see if we can go around the trees here. Because we're using our trading post as the warehouse here. Or ideally, that's my goal. Unfortunately, not to be realized. So we can also build a forge and then this artisanal studio. This will also need charcoal, but we're good there. So I'm going to build the silver forge. And we're building a whole bunch of flammable stuff over here. We're going to have to protect this. The artisanal studio, this actually improves people's health. So we can build this close to our citizens over here. And I've got an idea. It might not be the smartest idea, but I'm going to basically take our fire protection and move it over here. And then I can place this right here and cover more people. So I think this will do double duty now. It's not perfect, but it's okay. Now, I also want to take a look at research again, because we did research one thing, and we could just kind of set something further down the line, if I'm not mistaken, and we'll go for latrines. give people the opportunity to keep waste off the streets. And yeah, I've got 2 queued up now. That's cool. So that whole supply chain should be in order. So I want soap. We've already got a pig farm. So all we have to have is a renderer and then lavender, but we can't produce lavender here. So maybe it's for the best that we're not going down this path, because there's no way that we're going to produce lavender here. We'd have to trade it. And I don't want to figure that out just yet. Now to get to our next, and we're likely going to have to trade for this as well. I am going to upgrade as many of these as I can as quickly as I can. They are missing both public services here. Now we place these side by side, and that makes me think maybe I just take the Bard's Hearth and move that over here. And since we only need to meet one of those needs, that does the trick for us. And then I'll reorganize a little bit right here. Then I think behind here, I'm going to decorate just a little bit. This has been the awkward gap. So we'll put some grasses, and it looks like we have our own unique landscaping here. Beautiful. So now I'll just continue to build back this way because I can, and then we'll upgrade these. And I want to see if I can get all the way to the level 3 citizen. We'll see if we can make it there in the time that we have. And we're so close. It seems like once your economy stabilizes, it's not all that difficult to keep it going, at least in the early on. Now we have our last needs for these citizens, and it's either terracotta pots or olive oil. I think I can maybe produce the pots here if we can place a resin tapper. Now, funny enough, this is actually what tripped me up in my first playthrough. And I don't think that we have the fertility here. We do not. And we clearly don't have the fertility for olive oil. So I could either search for an island that has resin. And we have our mud dryer already. I've got to do it. No. I'm going to choose my god instead. And it seems like Ceres is not all that helpful in this one. She's helping a lot with things that we don't produce here. Neptune is also helping with things that we don't have here. So I guess of the two of those, Ceres is at least helping us with bread. So I think we'll make her our patron. Okay, I've got to see if I can find an island that has resin fertility. And it looks like this island doesn't have it. This island over here, though, does. So I'm going to see. And interestingly, this island that I'm already close to has the fertility that I need. And I don't believe that anyone's over here. And that gets me thinking. There I go. I can build a trading post. I have no money after I build this, but we're going to do it anyway. And unfortunately, that wasn't going to happen because I reached the end of my time with the demo. And I've got to admit it, I wanted more. Anno 117 Pax Romana is an absolute delight, and the more chances I have to play it, the more I'm convinced it's going to be awesome at full release. But don't just take my word for it, try it out for yourself. The demo will be available on Steam and Ubisoft Connect from September 2nd to September 16th. From my understanding, the version that you play will be similar to the one that I was playing on, meaning that you'll be limited to 1-hour playthrough sessions, but unlike me, you'll be able to play as many times as you'd like. I want to give a huge shout out to both Ubisoft and the Anno team for inviting me to play the remote demo once again. And I want to thank you for joining me on this journey to Albion. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and consider subscribing for more content like this. And I want to thank you so much for your time today. There are a million things you could have been doing, but you decided to hang out with me and play Anno 117, and for that, I appreciate you and I appreciate your time. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.